Well, Secretary Castro, you framed it just right. There have been tensions, significant tensions, tensions regarding Taiwan, tensions regarding China's engagements in Asia, and certainly its support for Russia. And that's a lot of what the discussions were going to be about with Secretary Blinken having planned to be in Beijing. But what this does is it demonstrates once again that China is aggressive, that China sees its ability to surveil as part of its strategy for gathering more and more information about the United States and our allies. The previous president didn't do anything. He turned a blind eye to it. And that's quite troubling to see that China got more aggressive as a result of no action by President Trump. And so right now, there certainly are guardrails. President Biden and President Xi, they met. They want to keep some guardrails on this relationship and not let it spin out of control. But it's very tense at the working level. And this situation will only increase tension and make it harder, quite frankly, to be confident in what China says to the United States in direct conversations.
General McCaffrey, when it comes to the fact now revealed that we've had several of these balloons over the last few years come over the United States territory, did American civilians have reason to worry about the balloon floating through American airspace, or were there any security risks to it?
Well, of course, at face value, no, they're not armed. They're not lethal weapons. They're not interfering with commercial aviation or, for that matter, military aviation. And for some reason, not yet disclosed by Department of Defense, we have allowed this to happen to some extent. I don't believe there was ever a penetration that was visible from the ground prior to this, either during Trump's tenure or earlier in the Biden administration. So look, this is a cheap, persistent intelligence platform with a huge payload. They obviously thought there was some value in it. They were hovering over Minuteman III silo fields in Montana. We undoubtedly made efforts to mitigate the collection it was able to carry out. I doubt we're going to get much out of the payload when it's recovered off the ocean floor. They've got 260 military satellites collecting on us. Their principal tool is cyber intrusion in U.S. computer bases and human intelligence. So a lot of political theater going on. There is a legitimate debate, however, on should the thing have been brought down before it entered U.S. airspace. NORAD did track it from the Aleutian Islands through Canada and into the United States, NORAD being a combined U.S.-Canadian military headquarters. So I don't think the question now in my mind is the PLA under control of President Xi or not? I'll bet the Ministry of Defense of Foreign Affairs never heard about this program before it was launched.